Assassin's Creed Odyssey. These are tips and tricks. We're going to start with the sailing aspects of the game. So a big part of the experience is sailing around. There are a lot of islands and a lot of water to move between. And sailing is going to be a big part of your movement in the world. So what's kind of interesting is you can actually use your boat as a fast travel point. So you can leave your boat and you can go fast travel. So fast traveling is done basically through these eagle points that you can synchronize to. It's sort of a classic Creed thing if you're not familiar with it. And then you're getting to a point from which you're able to continue and play the game further. So we have a map here and it shows all the extensive details of it. Again, this kind of guide is mostly going over beginner tips and information. There's these castle areas, which are places that you're able to fight, eliminate troops, and basically capture. The bounty system with the mercenaries, these guys are attacking you. Think of it as Grand Theft Auto's sort of, cop system where they're coming after you, but more in the sense of Shadow of War, the Lord of the Rings sort of series, where they're like the nemesis system. You kill them and stuff like that, or they'll come after you. Your ships can be greatly expanded upon. You can get lieutenants that will enhance your ship's abilities. There's cosmetic options for your ship. You can go to the Ubisoft Club and actually get some cool extras if you'd like to. You can upgrade your ship using supplies that you capture on the land or at sea, and I definitely suggest spending the time to gather this, as they do greatly improve your ship's abilities. So when you look at abilities for your character, which are very important, I do heavily suggest getting the critical assassination as soon as you can. It is very helpful. I also find that the Spartan kick is a very, very helpful ability, which I will showcase later on enemies. You can also increase general, your crit damage. If you're more of a bowman, I find the bow very weak in the Creed games, so I don't really care for it unless I'm trying to distract an enemy quickly. There's the whole bow line. Another good thing for the kick is your enemies will highlight in red sometimes, which means you can't hit them, but using the kick will sort of deny that ability when they're attacking you. And you hotkey it to your melee item. So there's a full inventory with a lot of different items that you can use. Keep in mind that armor doesn't just make you better. Some aspects can lower certain parts of your character's ability. As you can see, that one would increase my assassin damage and my armor, but it would decrease my hunting damage. There's also an engraving section, so you unlock these engravings by doing certain things in the world, and you sort of level them up. They can be equipped when you are at a blacksmith, and the blacksmiths are pretty available. I mean, you see them all over the place right there. Blacksmith. So we're gonna head over to the shipping dock, or well, generally the land, so that we can do some ground-based combat. So we're gonna fast travel over to this point. Cool, so we're at the point. I should also mention that you can pay your bounties off if you'd like to. You do Y there from the map menu if you don't want to deal with them. There's also a photo option present in the game. You click in both of the sticks and you're able to take a photo. I guess I should have included that in the review, but actually I looked it up before and I totally forgot to. Anyways, yeah, so now we're on land, and there are a couple ways to basically tackle areas. We're going to the castle over here. There's going to be a lot of enemies involved, and they're slightly higher level than I am, but it should be fine using some stealth-based skills. So you can play Creed in a number of different ways. You can directly attack, or you can take more of a slow stealth approach, eliminate enemies. It should be mentioned that there are a plethora of critters that you can kill in the environment. Wolves, bears. You can also tame them by getting certain skills, and you're able to collect hides and other resources from the characters. You might also find rocks and stuff as you're moving around within the environment. The environment is dynamic. It changes between day and night. There's weather conditions too. So when you're coming up to a place, the best thing you can do is pull out your eagle, which is sort of up on the D-pad. So your eagle is your bro. He is the best. Using a zoom in, you're able to easily highlight key important areas. To finish the fort, you need to complete the tasks on the left-hand side: burning supplies, finding items, looting things, saving people, and so forth like that. So we're able to quickly highlight, see our pro enemies. The gold ones are kind of key leaders that are more difficult and advanced. and someone you want to take out right away, perhaps using the critical skill that I had mentioned earlier because it does way more assassination damage. You can do all kinds of things with your bird. You can move fast, you can track, you can do a stationary mode, and you can even set markers if you'd like. So that's the bird. You also have a trusty horse, and he's not available during certain situations. So you see the bar at the top, how it is clear right now, that means there's no danger. Yellow is a cautionary danger, and then red, once you get into the zone, is a danger zone. And that kind of affects your ability to fast travel, move, and the sort of situation you're in. So now we're able to call our horse. You're also able to switch between weapons by holding either side on the D-pad, and yeah, switch between the various items. It's very similar to Origins. So you can move your horse sort of auto runs. You can also press A to follow the road, and it'll go to the quest objective. And there's different types of horses and different breeds, and you're able to you know, kind of pick the right horse for whatever you're doing. You get a sort of choice right at the beginning of what horse type you'd like. So we're going to move in here and actually do some of the combat. So the movement parkour system is really well developed in this one. So we've got our enemy here. The best thing you can do is a stealth approach. So you need to be crouched. You can look at the enemy. You can see how much your assassination is going to do. You want to know whether or not you're going to be able to completely eliminate the person you're assassinating, because a partial elimination, you know, kind of makes them go crazy, and then they'll raise the alarm and or set the fire on the brazen and call the men of Gondor or whatever for backup or whatever. And yeah, you don't want to deal with that. That's why we have the critical strike option. So the critical strike option basically allows us to do more damage to an enemy that we typically wouldn't be able to eliminate, and that's why I heavily suggest getting it. Really? Ah, crap. Okay. Nice and easy. See how our damage wouldn't kill him completely? It was a little bit of a white bar, but if we use the Ultra Assassination, which is a hold down, and again, it's a skill you unlock, notice how we were able to easily eliminate that opponent with no problems. See again here, we've got an enemy, a crown one. He's a little bit more powerful. If we do a regular assassination, the stealth attack's only going to take out about 33% of his bar. But if we do an intense full one, you're going to see that we fully kill this guy on our first leap, which is awesome, right? Huge difference. Level up as you can. It is going to help. Just like, I can't even really say how helpful that really is. Crap. So you're going to see an icon when they're about to notice where you are. Red is deadly. One of the best maneuvers you can do. Now there is a full like parry system in this as far as fighting guys. I find the best mechanic are your dodge equipped with you know, stuff like that. So the general goal, dodge and then attack. The general goal of what you're doing here is weakening people within the area. So going back to the kick, one of the coolest things is using it because it disarms your opponents. And you're able to actually... Oh, I didn't kill him. Because you can knock people out and recruit them in this one. You gotta use the L and stick clicking, and then you're able to bring them to your boat. But you can kick people off of areas. So I fought enemies that are like 2 levels higher than me. Hopefully this guy is just sitting there well enough and not moving, and we can kick him off the ledge. But you can kick them off the ledge, and the further it is, you know, they might actually get like an instant death to them. Which is like a huge deal, right? It's super helpful of a skill, and it can definitely turn the tides of your battle if you're having a problem or you're facing a unit that you can't typically kill. You can also whistle to draw enemies to you if you'd like, but we're doing the kick maneuver here, so again, highlight and then... What? Why would you do that? Why would you climb down there? Doesn't make any sense. I don't... Is that like a glitch thing? Like, what? Oh, he found a body of mine. Okay. That's why he went down. Because I was just like, what is this guy doing? You know? I had it perfectly set up where I was gonna... That's disappointing to me. We also have a hold down to see the area. I definitely suggest getting that ability. I find the poison one's helpful, but it really does need to be paired with more advanced poison mechanics in order to be something that is, you know, deadlier and more helpful for your character. So wait till they're near the ledge and kick them off. Oh, come on, man. Work for me. You can also kind of knock them off the ledge by being close to them, and then they'll fall, and you can see the damage done to their character. And I love just waiting for them to climb up, and then you're able to kick them off again, which is just generally, in my opinion, hilarious. And you can keep doing that as a sort of maneuver where you're climbing up something, like these posts, like these kind of pull towers, and when somebody climbs a ladder, as soon as they're at the top, before they can even strike you, you jump down and you kick them again. It's quite, you know, humorous in my opinion. And of course, use assassinations when you want. If you want to cool down an area, you can kind of just leave it for a bit and wait and then come back. Crap, that's not good. Don't want them to know I'm here, because I am using a sense of stealth with this. Generally, yeah, those are my really good tips as far as getting your starting character going and being able to handle areas. Clearing sections like this is very important to keeping your, getting your XP up. You can see right there. Kicked him off the ledge. They're definitely going to know something's up. I'm surprised that guy didn't die. He must have landed on something. The environment can also kind of be helpful too, because you can have like creatures come out, but most of the time the creatures seem to fight you. There are sort of factions and wars going on. You can see the brazen in the middle there, letting that will detect more enemies. I say that because you're in the middle of you're amidst an Athenian and Spartan war. So you're actually able to play both sides, because you play as a mercenary whether or not you are a male or female character. And your choices do matter, guys. I want to make sure that that is noted. What you do in this definitely has a big difference. So as you were seeing earlier, there's kind of like a question mark above their head. You see those guys over there, they're like, oh, they know something's up. They're going to be in a more high alert, situation or stage of their character. And it's going to alter their path or what they're thinking. I mean, they know something's up, right? They're like, people are dying. There's a problem here, There's some creepy looking guy with a bat. I love this style of helmet so much. It's so badass. The badass helmet walking around killing people. This isn't good. But stealth is your friend in this. It makes a huge difference, but again, if you're going into direct combat, which you can, watch out for the red, and try to do the dodges and then attack. You can just constantly be clicking, the bumper and then dodging, and then getting into battle to hit them multiple times. This guy's a tough one, but again, if they're going to attack you and you're like, oh no, I'm going to lose my health, use the kick ability, as that is going to give you the advantage. It's a lot harder with multiple people, so try to spread out your attacks between them, or just focus on the more elite character. But remember that your bars and such recharge based on doing damage and kind of eliminating people. So if you got someone that's lower in health, focus on them to get your bar ability back up, so that you can do the damage. I also find the kicks sort of make it a little bit easier to attack other enemies and get blocked, so you're not actually getting damage from others when you're performing that ability. Oh wow, that was deadly. And you can also hold your dodge down more, so that you can actually do a more dynamic dodge if you'd like to. Again, you can parry if you come across that situation. I don't personally suggest it, because I do find it sort of slows down the combat, and I didn't find it to be the biggest help when I've been playing. And sort of dodging, getting those dynamic moments coming in. Down you go. And using the kick is a huge advantage. I can't. I think I'm stuck here. I can't suggest using the kick more than enough. I mean, it's a huge difference. And you can play the game, again, however you'd like. You can run in there and be a maniac and kill people, or you can use stealth. It depends on how good you are with the combat. And this one does lean into the stealth elements a bit more. Again, lots of loot to collect, animals to skin, and things you can do in this experience. And it is really fun seeing them frantically move around. There's fire that you can kind of set too. Fire is a part of this experience. You can light brazens and sort of break items. Again, we've got giant animals to fight, and it's just really a world full of depth and resources to collect or people to take out. And there are those RPG elements of Assassin's Creed Odyssey too that can't be ignored as you level your character, your abilities, and improve yourself. If you have engravings, definitely use them. I find they're helpful. And find armor that works best for your playstyle, because there is that selection of choice as you adventure in the world. Oh, I guess we can kind of show off the kick thing. See how they climb the ladder and then they're not able to attack you, but you can attack them. It kind of works better, the kicking, when you're in a tower area where the ladder is part of the wall on the outside here, like say right here, as opposed to being in the central section. But that's just how this region is set up. So keep in mind the important things. Using your eagle, using your horse for travel, having a mix of stealth, and being smart about how you attack enemies. You don't want to be fighting like 30 guys at once, because it's ridiculous and overwhelming, especially during the large-scale battles. If you are doing large-scale battles, just focus on the captains. They are your biggest threat. They will cause the most damage to you. Don't fight all the side characters, because you're just going to waste your health. Remember that eliminating those important characters will improve your health as you're playing, and stealth is key. That is Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I hope these help or kind of give you a general idea about the game and make it a little bit easier for you to play when you're starting out.